Here's some ninja tips, expert tips to help you take your pitch to the next level and perform well when you are doing a demo day, pitch competition, anything like that. So first of all, let's talk about what is the purpose of a pitch. So a pitch, remember, is not what you see on Shark Tank. So on Shark Tank, they do a pitch, but then after that, there's all this negotiating about investments and percentages of ownership and equity, things like that. That doesn't happen at real pitches in real life. That's a reality show. In the actual world, the purpose of a pitch is just to get a story across, to tell the basic information that the audience needs to know, the audience being investors, partners, if you're doing a competition, the judges. So it's getting that essential information to them in a compelling way, like a persuasive speech would be. And the outcome that you're looking for is for them to say, I'm interested, let's talk some more. Let's have a meeting. That's where they dig into the details. That's where things like deal decisions are made, those kinds of things. So to start out with a tip, overall advice, tell a story. What you want to do is speak to the people that you're presenting to and tell them a story that they can follow that helps them see the important things about your business. So relate to them and win them over if you can. Feel free to break that fourth wall and connect with them in a personal way. A lot of times pitches will involve a persona, a customer persona, where you're saying, this is Bob. He is the owner of an ice cream shop, and he's my customer. If you're doing that, you're trying to get that audience member to relate with Bob and understand that this is a real person you're talking about. These are all about trying to relate with them and get them involved. Simplify as much as you can. So I suggest taking each slide you're going to present and figure out what is the one essential message, the one sentence, the one point that they need to take away from that slide. And then don't be afraid to hit them over the head with that, right? It won't insult anybody's intelligence by giving them some advice, some very clear guidance to say, this is what you should be taking away from what I'm showing you, from what I'm telling you. This is the important point. That doesn't insult people's intelligence. They appreciate it, not having to struggle to figure out what it is you're trying to get them to understand. Also, make sure that you're the expert in the room. You should expect that someone else in the room will be more of an expert than you are in your industry. But even with that person, maybe especially with that person, they will expect you to be an expert in your industry, in your business. So be confident. Paint a picture of your customer, like we said before. Let them know who these people are. Show them all the things that you're doing with your plan. Let them see behind the scenes. Let them see how your business works. And don't spend any time talking about the things that you're not doing. All startups pivot. All startups change. All startups evolve. It's not important that they know what your story is leading up to where you are today. What's important is, what are you doing now? So once you've presented your story, or as you're presenting your story, there will be assumptions that you make. There will be educated guesses about the future that you offer to them. They'll want to see that these are relatively robust and that that you are trustworthy, that your assumptions and that your arguments are things that can be trusted. So here's a way you can shore up key assumptions, all things that your plan hinges on. First of all, triangulate and validate your data up front. So try to distribute your eggs across multiple baskets. No one number that you would use to validate is probably good enough. So if it's about how much a customer will pay, you may have talked to customers, but you also may have surveyed customers, and you also may have looked at industry averages for similar products and what their prices are. You may also have talked to experts. All of those things together and many other things could help you triangulate and see that the data you've got to is robust and can stand up to scrutiny. Up front, make sure you have that foundation of cold, hard facts. And as a follow-up, do a sensitivity analysis and show key metrics. What this means is show how sensitive your model is to change, to unexpected things happening. If you're wrong about that sales number, about the price that customers are willing to pay, or you're wrong about the number of sales you can make, how will this affect your plan? What if you were off by 20%? How would it affect your plan? Would you still be profitable? This is helpful information for the audience to see. Also, show some key metrics. What this means is, what are the indicators that you will be watching so that you will know when things don't go according to plan and be able to act accordingly? These are the canaries in the coal mine that you're going to be watching, and it's an indicator that you're a smart business person and a smart team that will be able to see unexpected things coming and react. Assume that you will get hit with tough questions and be prepared. Think through for yourself, what are the hardest parts of our plan? What are the things we struggled with the most? These are probably the same kind of questions and the same struggles that your audience will have. So have some answers to those in your pocket. Think about how you will answer them and practice. When you're in doubt, make a hidden slide. Throw it at the end of your presentation. You won't use all these slides, but you'll feel better that you have them there and are ready with a prepared answer when the time comes. And then use something like written materials, executive summary, things that you can give to the audience so that they can follow along. Use those things strategically. Put important numbers up front. Make it easy for them to find the information that you want them to see. So having a Q&A time after a pitch doesn't always happen at big demo days, for example, but in pitch competitions like the ones we do, it does. So here's a way to handle Q&A effectively. First of all, you should be confident and act like an expert. Don't say things like, well, I'm pretty new at this, so I don't really know. Be the expert and be confident, but don't be a jerk. Your job is not to argue with them. It's to answer their questions and have a dialogue. Also, don't suck all the air out of the room. So don't talk and talk and talk. Answer their questions clearly and make sure that you are actively listening as well. So stay out of the weeds. Don't get into the details. Say things like, we can address that offline. I'd love to talk with you more about that. Things like that to stay out of difficult and long-winded situations. Expect that your audience will know nothing and everything. So expect that you will need to explain things about how your industry works, how your business works, but also know that there could be and probably will be people in the audience who know a lot more than you do about some of these things. So be ready for both of those eventualities. Don't be defensive. Instead, be teachable and listen. So this is not an opportunity, the Q&A time is not an opportunity to defend your plan. Instead, it's to take feedback graciously. This puts judges on the defensive. It takes away their interest in picking away at your plan and instead makes them a partner in improving your plan. So think about that. Finally, be honest, right? Turn something that you don't know into an opportunity for free advice. So don't try to make up an answer to something that you don't know. Instead, just acknowledge that you're not sure about that and ask what their opinion is. Ask for some advice. And an extra ninja tip would be answer a better question, right? So if you are really feeling confident that you know what a judge is actually asking, but they're not asking it the right way, you can answer a better question. So, for example, if you have a judge asking about the costs of, or asking whether you need to hire this person, whether you need this piece of equipment, whether you need to do this marketing campaign, what you may intuit is they're really asking about operating costs and whether you can control them. So it may be a good answer, if you're very confident that that's what it is, to say, I think what you're really asking is about our operating costs and whether we can control them. and then answer from there. But that's only if you're very confident, and that's sort of an advanced level response. So that's it. Have to end with a Kanye quote. I don't know why I don't do it more often. But in any case, this should help you be more of a ninja and better at answering questions, better at handling your pitch, and better at looking like a professional who really knows what they're doing. All right. Good luck.